Anywhere did you feel like, why didn't we get into autonomous driving and why this?
The buzz was really around. My belief at the time was that this will come, but it is not immediately around the corner.
How is the vibe from the actual Silicon Valley to the Silicon Valley of India?
The energy is great, incredibly smart, motivated.
Yeah.
People are building and creating things.
How it would not be possible without that.
The first people that you recruit into the company in a new location, in a way, are founders, right? They're creating the culture and setting that standard. This is advice that is universal, which is ultimately it's all about the people. The root cause is either you have the wrong person or you haven't given the right person the opportunity.
One of the founders said that 80% of coding job is gonna go.
It is not that AI will replace engineers.
Yeah.
AI will replace engineers who don't leverage AI.
Do you really think investors don't add any value in the company? Do they add negative value?
Yeah, like in any but.
What is that one thing that AI can solve in the next 10 years, which has not been solved?
The opportunity.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talks. Today we have a very special guest. I don't know how to introduce this person. He is one of the prominent leaders in the Silicon Valley. He was an investor. He's a founder and one of the fastest growing AI startups in Silicon Valley. So welcome, Shoaib. Yeah.
Namaskar, Yalargu.
Wow, that's delight. So Shoaib, this has been your first time visit here in Bangalore. How is the energy? And you spent 3 days here. So I just want to know, how is the vibe from the actual Silicon Valley to the Silicon Valley of India? What is the difference did you find, and how is the energy here?
Yeah, I think the energy is great. It makes me actually feel at home in some ways. It reminds me of that San Francisco, Silicon Valley vibe. The people are great, just incredibly smart, motivated.
Yeah.
People are building and creating things. And the city itself is just, it's beautiful. So I've enjoyed my time.
Amazing. So just letting you know, in the last couple of weeks, right? Google has expanded here. Meta has expanded its AI engineering team here. Then you have Databricks. They're also expanding huge in India. And now Motus. You guys are also expanding big here, planning to hire more than 300 plus leaders and AI professionals here. Just want to understand what is causing this particular shift. Why are people moving to India now? And what is the trend behind this?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think we were ahead of it in some ways. We started our team here in 2019, and today have more than 200 engineers all across India, but concentrated in Bangalore. And I think it's driven with a very aggressive goal of expanding that team in the year to come. I think it's fundamentally driven by talent. There's exceptional people here, and if you want to build an exceptional company, you want to access the best people. You want to recruit the best people, no matter where they are. And there is a very high concentration of them in Bangalore. I think about it as really one of the most talent-dense places in the world, which means that you get access to a large population who is well-trained, but because it's so dense, people are learning from each other. They're constantly up-leveling and upskilling and adapting. And the culture around learning and improving and kind of growing is incredible here. And so I think that motivates companies to want to be here and build teams because you're at a disadvantage if you're not in one of the highest talent dense markets in the world.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Coming to motive there, right? So you ventured into the AI first domain even when it was not popular, before OpenAI even. So OpenAI, like, they're using AI to predict, say, next word prediction token, more on the digital side. Your AI solution and platform revolves around changing the physical economy completely. It's a drastic thing, like in the real world implication, right? So can you tell our viewers like what motive does and why it matters now? Like, and also I need to know, like, how has that evolved over a period of time? Was it the same mindset you had, like, okay, I'm going to build this company for solving the physical economy problem? Can you share those details?
Yeah, it's worth maybe taking a minute to just talk about what Motive does today.
Yeah.
What we are is an integrated operations platform. So we, for organizations that do physical work, that power the physical economy, as we call it, companies like in the construction industry, oil and gas, field service, passenger transportation, they all operate commercial vehicles, have physical equipment, and then importantly they do the work on the edge. And they need to bring those physical operations online, and they need to automate major workflows across their operation. And so we build a number of products that solve some of these key operational problems. One of them is an AI-powered driver safety product. So what this is cameras that monitor the driver, monitor the road, detect unsafe behavior, cell phone use, drowsiness, close following, unsafe lane changes. We monitor for that behavior. We alert the driver in real time to augment it and to assist them. And then the consequence of that is collisions prevented and lives saved. And so really our investment in AI is principally around computer vision. So and the important distinction between let's call it physical work and knowledge work is happening in an office setting. You have kind of this infinite compute. There's no constraints in that respect. Whereas we're operating on the edge. Our customers are doing work on the edge. And when I say the edge, I mean in vehicles, on the road, on work sites. And so our AI models have to operate on the edge efficiently and in a performant way. And there's a very different set of constraints in that world. And so we started our AI investment in 2017. We actually acquired a small team that was building computer vision models for consumer applications and redeployed them to this problem set. And it took a long time to train models that could detect a wide range of scenarios, and deliver value for the customer, and do it in the environments that they operate in. But today, that multi-year investment is very much paying off. I mean, our AI dashcam and our AI-powered driver safety platform is the kind of leading technology in the industry. Our AI accuracy is exceptional, and the outcomes that we deliver for customers are tremendous. 70 to 80% reduction in collisions, which if you're operating at scale has huge consequence, both in lives saved, but also in cost and value realized.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. And just a quick question, in this entire journey, did you feel like you built an AI assisted system for drivers and for the truck drivers and the entire logistic industry there? Anywhere did you feel like, why didn't we get into autonomous driving, and why this?
Yeah, it's a great question, because in 2017 when we first started on this AI journey, the buzz was really around self-driving. You had so many companies popping up that were promising level 4, level 5 in a very tight timeline. And my belief at the time it was that this will come, but it is not immediately around the corner for a number of reasons. I think technology and performance itself. I mean, it takes time to train these models, and actually, I think the technology was not ready, and it's now approaching that, but it was definitely not ready in 2017. And then you have just it takes time for technology to diffuse. Even if it's exceptional, there is constraints in adoption. You already have vehicles deployed on the road. You're not going to just move those off the day autonomy becomes available. And so there was a number of constraints that I thought was going to delay the adoption of autonomy. And well, in the meantime, it was clear that AI could assist that driver and improve their performance, or had the potential to, and was much more deployable and accessible. You think about our product; it's a retrofit. You install the cameras in your vehicle, and you immediately realize the benefit. There is no delay. There is not a significant change in the way you operate. It's really just a driver assistance. And so for those reasons, I think our approach was the right approach at that time. Now the world is evolving, and we think we do have an opportunity to actually play and participate in the autonomous vehicle world for commercial vehicles, and we're starting to kind of explore that now.
Amazing. And what is, Shoaib, what is your vision from the India team? What are your expectation that you're setting here? Is the India team here is like a R&D facility, or is it like for handling the product development, or is it for something else? What are your expectation from India to the world from motive perspective?
Yeah, I mean, we think about it really as building a full stack team. We've got engineers, product managers, designers, researchers, and they're solving fully integrated problems. And actually, what's incredible to see is they're building products end to end for customers globally, and they're doing it out of India. And what that takes is a deep understanding of the customer problem and empathy, to build the ability to map the problem to a solution, to be able to then deliver on it. But nothing is static. You can't just ship a product and then move on. The team has, and the expectation is this, but also they've really delivered on it, which is constantly re-rate the product and it makes sure that we're solving the customer problem in a really high quality way, and delivering as much value as we can. And this is where our India team is, I think, really stands out.
Amazing. And you said you set up here in 2019. And who are the people who are leading the entire team? If you want to have a shout out to your team members who are actually built, I mean, you've grown to 200 members and now you're planning to hire more 300 plus. That's a, crazy investment that you're putting here in people and technology and for the world. So do you have any names that you would like to call out and, for their work that they're doing here? Like some of the examples, like how it would not been possible without their support.
So the way we approached building our team in India was to find exceptional anchors, a product leader and an engineering leader that we could build around. Ankur Nandu was our product leader, and Soumya Das was our engineering leader. They remain at the company, and they've built just an awesome culture and recruited great people that they know, but also now, we're 200 plus, well beyond the network. And they, I think it's so important to set a high standard, and to make sure that you're constantly defending that standard. And so that the first people that you recruit into the company in a new location, in a way, are founders, right? They're creating the culture and setting that standard. And so I really think about them as the founders of our India business and team. But today, we have just exceptional talent across the board. AI engineers, R&D, front end, back end, product managers and designers. It's an awesome group that we built here. Yeah.
That's amazing, and glad to know the philosophy behind the founder mindset that you've built here, and it is growing tremendously there. Just a quick thing. So you worked in Google, and then you were investor at Khosla Ventures, and then you became a founder. What is this mindset shift that happened from being an investor to being a founder? Was it like easy, or was it like, investors, they invest on the founders. I remember Warren Buffett that, he says that invest in yourself. Did you take it too seriously, or what is the change in the mindset that you went through when transitioning from investing in founders and startups? You've invested in some of the big names. Instacart is one of them. And now you are founder yourself. And how has been that journey so far from 2013, right? So 2013 to now, like how has that shift happened, and how did you become founder?
I went into venture with the intention of building a company. So I really thought about my time in venture as a way to build a muscle for evaluating what are interesting markets, what's a meaningful problem to solve, how do you organize a team to go after it, and getting to see many early stage companies come through. I probably looked at 400 companies during my time. You do get to kind of train your model for what has the potential to be big. And so once I figured out what I wanted to build, it was just a matter of gaining conviction on the market and then bringing investors along and building that team. And so about 2 years in, I felt like I was there. Now, from that time, 2013 to today, it has not been a straight line.
Got it.
It's and you start with a point of view, something that you believe is a differentiated insight, but perhaps the rest of the world has not realized, because that's what kind of creates the opportunity. But then you have to constantly evaluate: are you right? And evolve both the product, and really starts with the product. Are you solving the customer problem in the right way? And get that feedback, and have that feedback loop being as tight as possible, so that you're continuously reorienting in the right direction. So if you ask me, 10 years ago, did I think Motive would be what it is today? No, I thought we could be a big company, and I knew we would have an expanding set of problems to solve. But the exact instantiation of it today is just a product of this kind of natural evolution, listening to customers, adapting, executing.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, and another insight, in terms of say in the early stages, you spent your time with the truck drivers and understanding. And when it comes to, I was just thinking about two futuristic, digital twin. You simulate everything, whatever data you've collected so far, and you're running a simulated environment. This is the next step towards autonomous vehicle, right? You have the quality and the abstraction that happens in these accidents. Anything can go wrong. It's a very complex problem to solve, and I think Motive entered this field with the perspective of solving a very complex problem, which is not done by many there. So I just want to understand, what are your thought about, in terms of you spent early days with the truck drivers, understanding those concepts, and what are some unique insight that, in the entire journey you have found, where the behavior and the abstraction is not predictable. And what is that 20%? You said 70 to 80% is what you've kind of solved the collision problem. What is that 20% gap that, that Motive can fix?
It's a great question. This idea of zero harm, zero accidents, is actually kind of our North Star. And we share that with a lot of our customers. A lot of our customers want to eliminate fatalities in their operation. And when you do physical work, you are just confronted with the reality that there's going to be safety challenges and life-threatening safety challenges at scale. Now, zero harm is our North Star. Well, how do we get there? On the driver safety front, it's by expanding the set of models that monitor for unsafe situations, both driver-facing models, drowsiness, distraction, cell phone use. Actually identifying when drivers are under physical distress or having a health incident. Then there's the forward-facing models, being able to understand the environment that they're operating in to protect them from risk. And today we're in the perception business, right? Detecting these situations and alerting the driver, so that they can change their behavior. The next step is controls. So actually being able to monitor the environment and take an action if there is an unsafe situation. I think that's how we continue on this journey towards zero harm. It's a long journey, and the job will never be done. But I think that's how we approach it: is expand the set of models, and then eventually, think about controls.
That's amazing. Yeah, and
that's the driver safety use case. We also build now AI-powered cameras that can go anywhere, and our customers are installing them on moving objects, stationary objects, inside, outside, and what they're doing is they're using it to understand what's happening in their work environments. And now we're building AI models for them to actually monitor for events, anomalies, unsafe situations in any physical space, and then kick off a workflow or generate an alert. And I think that's how we extend beyond the vehicle into any setting, any physical setting, to save lives, reduce risk, and deliver value to customers.
Got it. And talking about customers, can you share who are your prominent customers? and also like how many regions you guys are present, and also any plans of expanding here in India as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we started in the U.S. And today, we our business is concentrated in U.S., Canada, and Mexico. We're expanding to Europe later this year.
Wow.
And we talked about this with the India team. We just gathered the whole team in Bangalore, and we don't want to build products out of India. We want to actually bring our products to India, and I can't wait until our cameras and IoT sensors are installed in Indian operations. It will happen, and it will happen soon. Now, some of our customers, to give you a kind of a representative sense, we serve the physical economy. So this is 50% plus GDP. Industries like construction, energy, transportation, logistics, passenger transportation, and we serve SMB, small organizations, all the way to the Fortune 50. We've got small trucking companies, small construction businesses, all the way to FedEx and Halliburton and Carvana. So a wide range of operation types and scale. And I think that's what's so great is we're able to serve such a wide range of industries and really companies of all sizes and scales, which is hard to do. But I think we've done a really nice job of building the capacity to deliver that.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Shoaib. So another thing is Motive has plans of going for IPO. And also you're backed by marquee investors throughout your journey. And I just recalled, I think you worked at Khosla Ventures. Vinod Khosla in one of the interviews mentioned 70% of investors had negative value.
I think he actually said something like 99%.
Oh yeah, 99%.
It might have been higher than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you agree with that? Or how has been the journey? You have been on the both side of the coins. Like you've been an investor, you've been a founder. Do you really think investors don't add any value in the company? Do they add negative value? And how has your relationship been with the investors? And what can they expect, when the company goes to the IPO?
Yeah. Like in any population, you're not going to have uniform behavior. And among investors, there are some exceptional ones, just that are, and I have, I think the good fortune of working with many of them that understand the customer problem, and that's where they start. And then think about how you're going to build a business around it. There's a lot of, I think the failure mode is you start with the financial model, and then you think about the products. It's got to be problem first, products first, and so of course evaluating the team and understanding and being a complement to them. But no, I think investors are critical and they're an essential part of the ecosystem. I've had the privilege of working with some great investors and bringing on great firms to partner with. But ultimately, your success is going to be defined by your team, your market, and your ability to reach your customers and deliver, solve their most meaningful problems.
That's interesting. And during your time at Khosla Ventures, do you remember any instances with Vinod Khosla or the team? How was the vibe there? And what has your investment thesis back then versus what is the founder thesis now like?
Yeah, Venture was great. I really enjoyed my time being an investor. I mean, it's amazing. You get paid to be educated by incredibly smart people on a wide range of subject matter, and maybe the smartest people in that domain, right? Because they're thinking about it most creatively and most originally. And so that part of Venture was fantastic. I think my principal lesson was if you're going to be successful, you're going to have to build. You're going to have to solve a problem in a transformative way. It has to be not marginally better than the way it is done today. It has to be 10x, 100x better. And if you look at every product that you want to build through that lens, you end up filtering out a lot of ideas because you don't want to build incremental. You want to build transformative. Yeah. And so the threshold and the bar is just really, it's very high. And Venture teaches you that because the only companies that have exceptional outcomes are the ones who have built a transformative product.
Got it. And again, coming back to the IPO question, when are you planning to go for IPO? What is the stance on that? And what are your expectations like?
Yeah, I mean, no specific timeline to share.
Okay.
But I look at it through um, the framework of what it takes to build a public company and why would you go public.
Yeah.
You would only do it if you had a company that could compound at a very high rate for a long time, and that's a function of what is the market you're in, how much of that market have you captured today, have you demonstrated your ability to expand your opportunity set and expand your market over time, and ultimately, can you deliver free cash flow? Like, can you acquire customers in that market that translate into into cash flow, and can you do that over and over again? Because the life as a public company, if you're not growing, is tough. And so we really think about what can we control, and where we're building is I think a company that our market is just it's giant. It's bigger than I ever thought it would be, and it's one where we are incredibly well positioned, and we've got work to do to continue to defend that position. But that's what we can control, which I think gives us the potential to go public. Now, when we do and how that takes shape, we'll see.
Got it. Yeah. And so other again question on the similar lines, like so when you go public versus now investor backed, right? So what changes the company there? Like how will there be any change? Is there any particular reason for going for public, for motive specifically, like which?
Yeah. I think if you want to build something generational, it is an inevitability. You have to, especially assuming that you have investors. If you don't have investors, well, you could stay private forever.
Yeah.
But I think it's the natural evolution and a step along the way. I mean, it's not the end goal for sure. It is just a moment in time. But it is necessary if you want to build a generational company. And in this case, Motive is absolutely going to be, and we're building something that will last.
Coming to Motive again. So when you was there any moment where you felt like hard times, tough decision, like okay, everything is going out of control? Were there any hard moments in the entire Motive journey that you can recall?
Yeah, I mean, countless. There's many existential moments, but I'd say the first 4 years of the company were just continuously that, in the sense that we weren't generating revenue. And when you don't generate revenue, you don't really have a business. You have a product. And so, but I think that was, it fit with the way we were going to market. But it was hard where you believe that and we had a free product, so it wasn't like we had no usage or no user base, but we were putting something out in the world and attracting an audience, building trust, but not actually capturing value for ourselves, which was hard. And it's hard because you're just burning cash, but also it's hard to then bring investors to the table. And I think we had the luck of bringing investors who aligned with our vision, and were also timeline aligned, where they thought that this approach was the right one to win the market over the long run, not just the near term. And so I think that was challenging, but if you find the right people, you can make it through and make those kind of very long-term investments work out.
Amazing. And coming to Motive now, what does the numbers look like? How much revenue you guys are generating versus like first 4 years to now? What are the numbers saying? Like,
yeah, I can't share the exacts, but we generate hundreds of millions of dollars of annual recurring revenue. We have more than 100,000 customers across a wide range of industries, and we're growing at a high rate. Given our revenue scale, among kind of the fastest growing private software companies, and that we think can sustain, if not actually increase, given the scale of the opportunity ahead of us.
Got it. And just coming back to your investing days, right? Were there any regrets, like you didn't find? I mean, any moments like where you didn't invest in particular startup, they grew, And at the same time, as someone from Motive, did you hear stories from some of the investors like they regret that they didn't invest in Motive? So anything there, like?
Yeah, investor FOMO is real.
Yeah.
I like to not live with regrets.
Yes.
But you also have to keep kind of your scorecard. You want to know, did you have good judgment or not at that time? And it takes in venture 5-10 years to really evaluate those decisions. So yeah, you keep your scorecard, and I think I'm relatively happy with mine. And of course, yeah, you meet investors on the other side of it who pass, and you remember. You keep it in mind. They oftentimes remember too, and I've definitely had investors come and say, I'm bummed that we didn't get there.
Wow.
But yeah, it's great.
It's part of the game, like.
Totally. Yes. It's definitely part of the game.
Got it. Now, again, coming back to, Shoaib, 2013, with the knowledge and the experience that you have and how fast you have grown your company here, if you could give the advice to Shoaib from 2013, what would that be?
This is advice that is universal. And I think we actually applied it relatively well, which is ultimately it's all about the people. Any problem is the root cause is either you have the wrong person or you haven't given the right person the opportunity, or there's just a vacuum. There's no person.
Yeah.
And so it really, like, the burden is on you as a leader to go and find the best people as fast as you can while holding an incredibly high standard. And so yeah, it's really all about talent. Building a company, your company is defined by the team you build, and so that is, and it's forever from day one to now. Now we're 10+ years in, it still holds.
Amazing. And coming to you're expanding here in India, so I just want to know what's next for Motives. We already discussed what are your expectations from the team from here in India, and you want to build that technology stack. So I just want to know, from your perspective, let me put it this way. What is that one thing that AI can solve in the next 10 years in the logistic, which is very difficult problem because you've been in the industry for a long time in the supply chain and the logistic. What is that one thing that AI can solve in the next 10 years, which has not been solved, according to you?
Yeah. I mean, the opportunity to connect operations is endless, right? And it'll never be done. These organizations that do physical work, they operate in the field. They've got physical assets, people all over, and that task of bringing all that online is forever. It's continuous, and it also becomes the prerequisite for enabling AI-powered automation. And so I think that's the next frontier. It's been the last 20 years, this idea of digitization, but it becomes increasingly important because you cannot leverage AI unless you bring your operations online. And I think that's the next big bet for us is computer vision and sensing in any physical environment that then allows you to improve safety and to drive productivity. And it's such a broad set of problems to solve, and ones that will, I think, keep us and our team in India as well as globally busy for years to come.
Amazing. I think I missed one question. In terms of, we're talking about AI solving for knowledge-based economy, right? So are there any tools or automation or agents that you guys are building in-house or using it in-house? Some of the technology stack, and which is your favorite platform, AI platform that you use on a regular basis to brainstorm or create ideas, or what has been your last platform that you use, which can you share that?
Yeah. I mean, as a company, we're trying to be extremely experimental, and to encourage our teams to test out new tools. And we don't want to be top down. We want to be as bottoms up as possible, and then figure out what should be deployed broadly. And so there's just an incredible amount of experimentation. Our engineering team is working with every coding assistant you can imagine.
Yeah.
Our sales teams are working with leveraging all kinds of sales assistants, marketing automations, and then of course there's just the general purpose. Let's call it enterprise search and chat experience. And we're testing and experimenting there with OpenAI and Anthropic, but also, let's call it enterprise specific providers like Glean. So yeah, we're in, I'd say, a phase of discovery and experimentation. We don't want to get fall into a local trap because the space is just evolving so rapidly. So we're very much testing and then deploying.
You're experimenting with, a lot of these tools, AI platforms and everything. Is there any particular thing where, because to give you context, I think previously one of the founders said that, 80% of coding job is going to go. They are hiring only for people who are using AI in their coding and then deploying it. So the mid talent or the mid-level engineering is going to be obsolete, and productivity is increasing in the coding aspect as well. So what are those job roles that you have seen as a founder, and how is it changing there? So that,
I mean, our view, and Shiva, our CTO, actually shared this with the team yesterday. Our perspective is, it is not that AI will replace engineers. AI will replace engineers who don't leverage AI. In the sense that you are at such a disadvantage if you aren't leveraging these tools to assist you and amplify you. You will just be less productive than your peers, which will mean that you simply won't be able to deliver in the same way. And so I think it's incumbent on engineers to constantly learn and relearn. And we encourage that at the company. And I think that's actually really what stands out about our team in India. It was amazing how many conversations I had with people who are just excited to excited to experiment. The energy around what's happening in let's call it coding assistant and AI powered engineering is tremendous. And I think the best people recognize the leverage it gives them and are like running headfirst into it.
Amazing. So who is Shoaib, without motive?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm curious about the world. I love solving hard problems.
Go ahead.
I love being with people who share that and are inherently optimistic about what is realistic, but also optimistic about the world around them.
That's good. Okay. And one last question. What is the, how much of AI is buzzword or hype according to you? Because you worked in the AI first industry and you're leading the company there. So how much of it is actually hype and how much of it is actually real according to you?
I think there is plenty of hype, but ultimately it's all about the customer problem, and there are many meaningful problems being solved in a wide range of industries with AI. It is the leverage that is coming from both the assistance as well as the automation of workflows is driving productivity. It's improving safety, and it's delivering incredible value. So if you break through the hype and you look for the actual problems that are being solved, there's lots of them. And I think there's overwhelmingly net positive coming from this.
So thank you, Shoaib. That was wonderful. Lovely speaking to you. And thanks for all those insights. And I think I've covered almost everything. In case if I missed anything, we can discuss later. And I would love to meet you again. And wish you all the success and all the best for expanding here in India. And glad that you chose Bangalore.
Awesome.
And looking forward to all the adventure that you guys are doing. And all the best. Yeah.
Thank you
so much. Thank you, Shoaib.